My name is Jocelynnvance. I am a life and business coach for purpose-driven online entrepreneurs. I teach purpose-driven females how to ignite energy and passion and authenticity into their business so that they can turn their impact into income. And something I always say is I thrive on creating soul plus strategy to really ignite the business that you desire. Because yes, we can get involved in the strategies, and those things are out there. You can learn how to build a business strategically. You can, learn the algorithms of Facebook and how to do email marketing and all this great stuff. But if you do not have the soul stuff in alignment, then you will not build the business you want, no matter what strategy you have. Because my belief, I bring a lot of spirit into business, and if you're not energetically aligned with the business that you want to create and the mindset that you want to have in your business, you're not going to attract what it takes to be successful. And so these 5 B's, they are mixing a little soul and a little strategy, but I think you'll find that the soul stuff is where a lot of people really need to devote time and attention. And then the strategic stuff just comes and you learn, right? So today is the first B, and it is belief. And I know we're probably all oh yeah, mindset stuff. You keep hearing you have to have a belief in yourself. You have to, let go of limiting beliefs. You have to let go of fears to be successful. And we're probably in a way okay, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it's are you really doing it? Have you really addressed a lot of those things that maybe you haven't really given attention to, or maybe you haven't thought about? So today I'm going to just kind of give some outlines of some things that you can really start doing to implement into yourself and your business that you're going to see major shifts happen. And in doing this, you're going to start building a lot stronger space for your business to grow. So when we're talking belief, the first thing that you really want to think about is when you're building this business, you have to have a belief in 3 crucial areas to be able to thrive. And those areas are the belief in yourself, the belief in your company, and then the belief in the industry. So if you're in, network marketing, or I like to say community-based marketing, then you're going to be able to really look at these 3 areas and say, where do I lack some belief? Because if we do not have a strong belief in all 3, then something's off, something's missing, and something needs to be tweaked up here so that we can energetically align ourselves to attract what we want to attract. So the first one is a belief in ourselves. And I think if you're anything like me, and many other people, this is an area that I had to really, really dive into and think about, because we all like to say, yeah, I believe in myself. I'm doing this. I'm going to rock this shit out. This is going to be awesome. When you first join your business, you're fired up. You're oh my God, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to be top earner. I'm going to be killing it. And then these things just start happening. And you're wait a minute, maybe what's going on? Then you start questioning yourself. Some things that start arising, you start seeing yourself maybe not showing up in the way you want to show up in. Limiting beliefs creep in, fears creep in, things that you didn't really think maybe were there that are popping up. And this happens for everybody. So we really want to look at those things. And the main 3 areas I want to focus on, and I do a lot of extensive one-on-one coaching with my one-on-one clients in these areas and have, major breakthroughs. And obviously I can't do that in a group live setting, but what I can do is give you some crucial things that you can start doing to really evaluate this for yourself. And so in the belief in yourself area, the first thing is limiting beliefs. And we all have them. And a lot of times they come from a space in your childhood where you learned something, or maybe you were taught something that isn't necessarily true in the universal truth, but it's true to you because that's how you were raised. That's the perception you have. So if there's anything in your life, in your area, in your business where you feel like you're holding yourself back, stop and look at what beliefs do I have around this area. So for example, let's say you're not making the money you want to make, and you're looking at your business and you're like, okay, what is going on? Why am I not increasing my income? Or what money is not coming in? A lot of times it's a limiting belief that we have around money. It is a limiting belief. Maybe you were taught money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work super hard for money, or money doesn't come easy, or you need to hoard and save all your money because it's not coming back to you. I mean, you really have to look at areas of your business that maybe your inner belief is affecting how you're portraying yourself. Maybe you feel like, I'm not a good leader. I've never led a big team. So your leadership abilities aren't showing up, and therefore you're not attracting people into your business that see you as a leader and want to work with you on your team. There's all kinds of different areas of limiting beliefs that we can address and look into. But the thing that you really want to think about is, if you don't have a belief in yourself in all areas of your business, then you're going to attract things that continue to destroy that belief in yourself. I highly suggest doing some personal development. I know that's kind of the staple in our industry, but it's really important that each day you're feeding the areas of which you feel are the most limiting beliefs. So for me, some of it was like, just some tweaks I needed in my money story. There was some things I needed to address about my own personal situation that I needed to address. And as soon as I did those things, I started attracting what I really wanted into my business rather than what I didn't want. So one book that I suggest is the You Are a Badass book, which kind of goes along with our B's to building a badass business. But I don't mean to put somebody, I'm basically promoting, but at the same time, I do feel like if you haven't read that book, it is one that starts with the very core foundation of learning what you can learn for your limiting beliefs in yourself. So that's one. Two is fears. So we literally control a lot of our business through our own personal fears. And a lot of times the stories we tell ourselves are bullshit. And we show up in our business from a fearful space rather than a faithful space. So faith and fear can't live in the same place. They can't. If you have faith, then fear can't win. If you have fear, then that means you don't have faith. So a lot of times when we're looking at building our business, if you aren't in a space of faith and believing and knowing that you're going to achieve your goal, or that you're going to be successful, or that you can attract the team members that you want, or that you can reach the sales goals that you want, if you don't have faith, then fear is taking over somewhere. And a lot of times I see fear creep in people when they fear judgment of other people. And so I'm going to address that part. Obviously, we could go into several different areas of fear. I work, extensively into that in coaching, but it's a space that I feel like more times than not, I see in my one-on-one clients, I see in my team members, things like that is fear of judgment of other people. And when you fear judgment of other people, that means you don't have faith in who you are and how you're showing up and who you are being authentically in your business. So if we fear going live, or if you fear someone's going to think something about me, or my full-time job, my partner in my full-time job is going to look at what I'm doing as my side business and judge me. At the end of the day, you need to take a piece of paper out, and this isn't part of your homework, but I highly suggest doing this, taking out a piece of paper and writing all the fears that you have around judgment from other people. because a lot of times this is what drives our decisions in building our business. You're scared or you're fearful of judgment of other people, whether that be friends, family, spouses. There's so many different areas that we fear. What is that person going to think? Is that person going to judge what I'm doing? Is that person going to criticize the money I'm investing in my business? Is that person going to think what I'm doing is stupid? Am I going to have their support? And at the end of the day, if you allow fear in that space to control how you're showing up authentically in your business, then you have just taken your business from a space where you could really flourish and make a huge impact, change your life, to you're dumbing it down to someone else's opinion, perceptions, beliefs. It has nothing to do with you. And so I know how hard that fear can be, and you hold on to it because we all want to be accepted and loved from other people. But at the end of the day, you have to go inside here and say, what do I believe? What am I feeling in my gut that's pulling me into this space? And go with that and do whatever you can to surround yourself with people that also have that belief, not only in you, but in the space that you're in, what you're doing. And the more you do that, you're going to see that you have that support, that you're not some crazy person that's off, building a vision and a dream that can't exist. If it's someone very close to you, I know that's very difficult. You may have to set some boundaries, and you may have to allow some space for that person's perception to be what it is, but to stay steadfast on your goals and your belief in yourself. Because that's the first and foremost, most important thing that you can have in your business. So that's number one. Number two is the belief in your company. And I say this well, why would I do this company if I didn't have belief in it? And I worked with several one-on-one clients that through our space, they actually wound up choosing a different route for themselves. You just have to make sure that, yes, you're in this industry, and yes, you're building a business. If you have belief in yourself, you have to have belief in the company. And that's not to say that you should, jump ship or leave or anything like that, but you need to make sure and really evaluate, is this company where I stand, my brand, what I want to do in this world? Or is their mission my mission? Is their product something that I can 1000% stand by? Is it something that I love? Is it something that I love sharing with other people? Is it matching what I want to do in this world? Because I can guarantee you, if you're in a company that you don't feel that way, and maybe you're just there because you see it as an income opportunity, maybe you see I can make a lot of money here, or so-and-so is crushing this business, so this is definitely where I need to be, or my best friend invited me to do this and she's doing awesome, so surely I can do awesome. You have to really personally, authentically evaluate, do you 1000% believe in your company? And it's the product, it's the mission, it's what they stand for. Are they teaching you something that doesn't feel authentic to you? Are you being pushed for things that don't feel authentic to what you're supposed to be doing in this world? You have to ask yourself these questions, because if you don't have 1000% belief in the company, your business will be affected, and you will not see the success as so-and-so and so-and-so, because you don't have that internal core belief in what you're doing. It doesn't match you energetically. And so, if you are in a space where you're like, hands down, this company is so in alignment with who I am to the core, then you're good to go. It may be, you want to have an impact in a certain space or a certain area. Maybe it's you could find something that if you struggle with the belief, then you could search for it more in your own company. It's not to say that if you're struggling in that area that you should jump ship or leave or something like that, or that you should find something that's more authentic to you. It just means that you need to evaluate that and figure out what would be best. Because if you don't have 1,000% belief in the company, eventually it's going to be an issue. Eventually it's going to fade out. You're going to be building and putting all this work into something that eventually doesn't pan out for you. So really look into that. I know people have been successful in all different types of businesses. And the one thing that I've seen, and even for myself as someone who was in a previous company and then switched, you have to have a full percent belief in it, and the people who do are the ones that are successful in that company. So check that. Make sure that you're in complete alignment with everything that could possibly be about building the business with that company, and then mark that check. And if there's any area that you're like, I don't know, or I'm questioning this, or this isn't 100% my brand, or what I want to do in the world, then really start evaluating that and see if maybe there's something you could do to fix that. And the third area is a belief in the industry. So, and we're all like, well, of course I believe in the industry. I'm here and I'm doing this thing, but I want you to really think about it and really evaluate how strong is your belief in the community-based marketing industry, the network marketing industry. And I don't mean like, or maybe you're brand new and you don't really know yet. And this could be something that you really take into consideration as you're moving through the course of building your business. You have to have a belief in this industry. You have to be able to have a thick skin when you feel like other people are judging you because you're a network marketer. Or you have to have a thick skin when you're reaching out to people that maybe don't understand this industry, or you're inviting them to look into your opportunity, or you're inviting them to see what you have going on because you know how awesome it is. But then maybe their opinion or their energy comes back at you, and do you go and question? Do you feel like you're not approaching people because you're the icky network marketer? Do you feel like your energy is all in and passionate, and you know for a fact that this business model is the shit and like could completely change their life? Even when they come back with that little resistance of, here comes Jocelyn, she's, representing so-and-so, and she's, going to talk to me about this business. Do you let that affect your energy and how you show up? Truly. Do you take conversations and opinions of other people and allow it to affect how you feel, how you show up, the passion you show up with, the belief that you show up in this business model and this industry that we find ourselves in? If you do not, if there's any area that you feel like you get icky feeling, or that you get questioning, or that you lose that you've got to address that. Because if you don't have full belief in this business model, in this industry, it's going to come through. You're not going to attract people to your business that want to flourish in this business model. You're going to struggle to stand up with posture. You're going to struggle with speaking about it, inviting to it, understanding it. So take a look at the business model industry. Do you believe in it? Is it something that you feel like is a good space to grow your own business? I know so many people that started in maybe in network marketing and found out it wasn't right for them, and they decided to do something else and start their own business in a different business model, or a different space on their own, or maybe a brick and mortar or something like that. If you don't have 100% full belief in this business model, you will not grow the business to the success I think you desire, because you're showing up energetically questioning, not believing. You're telling the universe, you know what, I really want to be successful, but I don't 1,000% believe this is the right way. So what is the universe going to do for you? It's going to show you, and you're attracting things that are going to prove to you that maybe it's not the right way. And you're going to run into situations where it makes you question if this is the right way. And you just have to evaluate that. It's one of those things where it's like, make a list. Think about, what about the industry am I in love with? What about this business model do I feel super passionate about and strong about? And then take those things, maybe list some things that you've questioned or that rattle your belief a little bit, and then evaluate, are those things real or are they stories? Either from myself or from somebody else's perspective or opinion, or is it a space that I feel judgment, or is it a real story in my own mind, authentically, which I'm all about building a business authentically. Authentically, do you feel this is a true story for you? Or is this a perception that someone else has placed on you and now you've incorporated in your belief system? And you need to do that with all three areas. Belief in yourself, belief in the company, and a belief in the industry. Rate them. And I know this is part of your homework. Really look at deep inside. Really become very self-aware right now. This is a space for you to be 100% honest, authentic, and, supported. So come up with and rate yourself in the three areas. Your belief in yourself, 1 to 10, belief in your company, and then a belief in this industry. You want to rate those 1 to 10. 1 being, this is crap, it's the shit show over here, or 10, and I am like, you couldn't tell me any different, because there is no way I would change my belief in this system, or in myself, or in this company. So take the time to really rate those. And then I want you to think about any area that's not a 10 that you could do things to change that belief. Is it something that you need to change or that you need to work on in personal development or business development? Is it a belief that can't be changed and it just is what it is? Is it a space that you need to make some tweaks and changes or to look into different avenues to be more in alignment energetically, to be more believing energetically? Because I can tell you right now, you attract what you are, and you will never be successful if you don't wind up coming up very close to a 10 in all three of these areas. And I'm talking about the success that you truly desire and the goals that you want to meet. Yeah, you can see some success. You may make some sales. You may find a few people to join your business that they don't have a clue either, and they need to work on things. And you may build a side income. You may build a little hobby income. And if that's your goal, that's great. But if you have goals to make this a true business for yourself, and you want to come to the table to build a business, you got to get close to a 10 in all three of these areas, or figure out what needs to be tweaked or changed so that you're showing up to match the energy and the authenticity that you need to match to show up in that space and to be able to attract that type of business. It's a personal game. It's a mind game, and it's a belief system that you have to have. And I know sometimes it's hard to really go in and figure that out, but it will change your business. Okay, and then let's see, what other, your homework, write down 5 areas in which you want to have more confidence in these 3 pillars: yourself, the company, and the industry. 3 or 5 areas of which you want to move closer to a 10. And it's not to say if you're not at 10 right now that you can't have a successful business, but these are things you have to really start honing in on and working on. And that's why we're doing this as the very first day, because it's that important. So pick 5 areas that you really want to focus on to create more belief in that area, and what action step you're going to take to be able to move closer to that 10. Okay, so that's your homework for today. I'd love for y'all to post it in the group. If you want to write it on a sheet of paper and take a picture of it and post it in the group, or if you want to type it out, copy and paste it into the group, that would be awesome. Just hashtag it, hashtag day 1, hashtag badass business. and I will come in and, comment or share on it. If you have questions or areas that you think you need a little clarification in, absolutely post those into the group. I will be in there and I will respond and help the best way I can in this area of belief. And then tomorrow we'll move into our next B and continue moving forward in the 5 B's to building a badass business. So thank y'all so much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.